when you get older, you're going to start looking for this thing called unconditional love. I want somebody that's going to love me regardless for what I do and who I am. So let me tell you guys something. It's just from experience. The closest you will ever get to that on earth is the love of a good mother. I say that again. The closest you will ever get to unconditional love on earth is the love you receive from a good mother.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video, I wanted to speak to you today about love. I know this is not a subject that we normally talk about, but it's important that we discuss what love means to you. What does love mean to you? Love is something that we all should experience. It's something which I think is fundamental to the human experience. We always talk about going out and finding love, finding the right partner to share the rest of your life with. But I'm going to tell you this now. There is no other love that you are going to find out there in society which is going to be as intense, as strong a bond as the love that you're going to feel between yourself and your mother. I think the love between a man and his mother, it creates who that person is. If that bond is weak, if it's broken, if it's bad, then the person can turn out to have a difficult life or have difficulties in relationships himself in the future. But rarely you see this. From a mother, you will always see selfless love. The love is unconditional, isn't it? I mean, you don't see a woman go out and say, to their children, period, and say, okay, then I will love you, but you need to do this. And if you don't, then so be it. You are talking about pure, unadulterated, selfless altruism. That is something which most of us, most people experience in their lives. And when they get that experience, it is most of the time, it comes from their mother. In today's video, we are going to discuss the relationship between one such man and his mother. However, his mother has now disowned him. And the reason his mother has disowned him is because he does not support the war in Ukraine. This story really has confused me a lot. I know I've seen it happen before, of course. I've seen women disown their children, normally because of that child, say, dating out, perhaps even coming out the closet. You will normally get a reaction from the parents, sometimes, mainly, I'm not sure, but you will have normally a reaction from the parents, normally from the dad. And normally when it comes to a son coming out of the closet or saying something which breaks the family norms and the family traditions, it's normally the man that stands by his own morals and says, okay, then you do not belong to me anymore. You are not my son. This has got to be damaging. This has got to be hurting to hear this come from your dad, but from your mother. Boy, this is something else, really is. It must really hit home hard. So when I heard about this story about Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH, a man of half Russian, half Angolan ancestry, born and raised in Russia by his mother. But when you hear the reasons behind why she's disowning him, guys, I gotta admit, I was scratching my head. I was thinking, nah, this woman, she's lost the plot. So who is Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH? What has he done? Has he stood by his principles? What has he got to say about what his mother has done? Is this the norm in Eastern Europe? Guys, this is a big question I'm asking here. We're going to get into this right now. First, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting the channel on our Patreon, link in the description. I'd also like to invite you to please follow the Oversight channel, the channel that is there to help you to invest on the African continent both safely and securely. Link also in the description. So who is Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH? Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH is a 29-year-old model from Russia. He grew up in Russia. He was born actually in a Russian Federation, not under the Soviet Union. So this guy has lived in Russia throughout his entire life, However, he did go to live in Germany and is currently living in Germany as we speak. He speaks fluent German, he speaks fluent Russian, he speaks fluent English. He is highly educated. This guy, I mean, look at him. He's a model as well. To top that, this guy is, you know, he's made it in life already, okay, so to speak. There are lots of people who would love to be in this position, look like this, have the brains, have everything going for him. Everything except for the relationship with his mother, apparently. Take a listen to this.
After posting his views online, Russian model and actor Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH says his mother blocked him. When he decided to leave the country, he sent her money. Well, in return, she sent him this message. Don't send anything, I will just send it back. I don't communicate with Russophobes and traitors to the motherland. I sincerely wish that you would give up your Russian passport and leave this country in any direction. You are no longer my son. There will be no traitors in my family. I'm sorry things have taken such a dark turn, and I'm sorry about what's happened with your mother. What made you publicly post these messages?
I learned about the things happening in Russia from my friends, because I have lots of friends living in Ukraine. And I woke up on 24th of February. I turned on my phone and I got messages from a few of my friends from Ukraine, and they said that Russia is bombing Ukraine right now.
Vladimir Putin always touts Russia's constitution as written as a multi-ethnic society. You yourself are multiracial. Can you just give us a perspective of what the reality is on the ground there?
Every time when I've been to Ukraine, well, I saw that people speak in Russian. I never heard any stories of Nazi who like bull Russian-speaking people in Ukraine. This is crazy, and this is not true.
Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH, I know that you did not want to leave Russia, and you did it because you felt you had no choice. Thank you for continuing to document what you see there on the ground, and we do hope that at some point you can reconcile with your mother.
Now that is just, oh man, it's unbelievable. That hurt me, and she's not even my mother. This is a horrible thing to say to your kids. And if you look at Jean-Michel's face during the entire interview, you can see that he is unhappy. You know, he's unhappy about the fact that his mother is speaking this way. If you also listen to him, you can take a look at his mannerisms. You take a look at the fact that he is well educated. He's taken care of himself. He's traveled a little bit. He's enjoying his life, right? This is a man who has the personification of somebody who has been brought up by somebody who knows what they are doing, who has taken care of themselves. Now, this is what is conflicting in my mind. Listening to these words from this woman, she does not sound like somebody who is stable in her own mind. Perhaps when she was younger, she was totally fine, and she, of course, was headstrong. And you have to be, of course, in order to bring up a black child in the middle of Russia. But now it seems as though she has totally lost it. Why would you do something like this? Why would you totally disown your own blood to them, to family, to blood? You would get rid of your own son. You would disown your own son because of Vladimir Putin and what he wants to do. Vladimir Putin, by the way, has already spoken out and said that people should stick within their own ethnicities. Okay, he's already said this. So we know how Vladimir Putin thinks about the existence of Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH. And he wouldn't have approved of the relationship that his mother would have had with the Angolan man, the father of Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH. So why is this woman so convinced that Vladimir Putin is right and the Russian war machine should go into Ukraine and should start destroying and obliterating entire cities for no other reason other than its own imperialistic desires? Well, it's because of the media machine in Russia. It is in full motion at this present moment. They are pulling out all the stops. They've blocked a lot of media access from the outside world. Facebook, Instagram, all the major social media platforms have been banned in Russia, and they are pushing out this narrative now. And Vladimir Putin is making himself, sculpting his own image in the eyes of his people to make him look like the person who is fighting for Russians, who is there for Russians, who will bleed for Russians, who will do anything in their power in order to bring back the former glory days of the USSR. Jean-Michel Scherbach's mother has, of course, fallen for this. There isn't any other media outlet, so what she is hearing from the media, she is accepting, she is absorbing it. So this is exactly what you are getting in Russia at this present moment. Okay, so that's the reasons why. This still doesn't answer the question though, does it? I mean, even if there was a war going on right now, your parents wouldn't disown you if you didn't agree with the war. So is there something else going on? Is there something else innate in certain people? I did speak about this before in a last video. I spoke about cultural differences, communication, and how that can be a challenge when it comes to having children of mixed race or of mixed heritage or of mixed ethnicities. It can be a massive challenge. Communication is extremely important when it comes to these relationships. And I think what you are getting here is a disengagement in communication between two completely different people from two completely different eras. I think Jean-Michel Scherbach is more perhaps like his Angolan father, and I think that his mother is 100% pure, unadulterated Russian, born and bred, and she doesn't see anything else outside of Mother Russia. So, you know, you got a woman here who was clearly brought up in the Soviet Union with those ideologies, and you have a young man, mixed race, can, you know, attract any woman he wants, can travel around the world, and he would be accepted wherever he goes. He can just go to that place and people will love him and accept him because he has that look, he has the looks, and he has that character of a very good person. So he's going to be accepted in any society, but his mother perhaps will not. So you have a massive clash here in personalities, and I think that's what you are seeing being played out here in the case of Jean-Michel Scherbach and his mother. I don't want to say that there is something about Eastern Europeans, because I don't think there is something about Eastern Europeans. And you got to remember, Eastern Europeans are multiple ethnicities. This woman is more than likely a Slavic woman. I've had a lot of dealings with Slavic people, and the ones that I've met have been really nice people. However, guys, like I said, communication is key in any relationship, not just relationships that you have with a significant other, but with your relationship with your parents, with your siblings. Being able to talk to them about anything, about everything is extremely important. It is intrinsic into keeping a healthy relationship amongst each other. If you don't have that, you have that breakdown in communication that clearly wasn't spoken about in this interview with Jean-Michel Scherbach on CNN. Clearly there was something that happened before that we may not know about. A breakdown in relationship like this is never just cataclysmic. There is always a chain, a series of events that leads up to something like this happening. And I think perhaps we are not seeing the full picture. So we can only best assume at what has gone on in the past, and I think we can assume that it was not a positive thing when it came to their relationship. So what did we learn from this? We learned that communication is extremely important, and you will always have a better chance of communicating with people of your same kin. Now, when I mean the same kin, I mean the same ethnicity or the same nationality or the same race, okay? You have stand a better chance of making it together if you have ties to each other culturally, ethnically, you will have a better chance of making it with another woman or with your child if you have that strong bond with that person. I'm in a mixed race relationship. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. I have children. They're all happy. Well, most of them are anyway. So she's 2. Bloody hell, she's tearing the whole house down. And I've had that experience before. So I know that things can go sour. I know that things can go sour in a family setting. And I know that blood isn't always thicker than water. And it's unfortunate that Jean-Michel SHCHERBACH is having to find that out the hard way. Until the next time, please think twice. Torah a bit.